I am Leanne Stroutman. I started as a CICT in December of 2020, and I was one of the 4 who piloted the program for Sarah. In August, I became a senior CICT.
I'm Anna Lims-Olson. I've been a contact tracer since January 2021, and I love it.
My name's Michaela, and I've been a CICT for almost 11 months. I joined the Sarah crew in early April. It's a pleasure to serve.
My name is Sarah, and I'm a CICT. I've been in this role for about 11 months now. One of my accomplishments was actually being a part of the first Sarah Alert team, and I just call people and make sure that they are okay and have all the resources that they need.
My name is Jing. I am a bilingual CICT. I've been working on this project since January 2021. I'm really glad that I am part of this project.
I am Pedro Chavez. I have been part of this project for a little bit over a year. I have also been the point person for our bilingual sessions.
Hi, my name is Olga, and I'm a bilingual CICT working with the Washington State Department of Health as a contact tracer and a case investigator. I joined the team in the middle of December of the last year. Happy to be a part of this great team.
A lot of different kinds of refusals out there, so people refuse for a variety of reasons. A lot of the time it's because they feel too busy to do the interview, or they just don't know what it's about, and so it's a little confusing for them. People will distrust us a little bit because we're just calling out of the blue and they don't know why. So I think it's really important to explain our process, contact tracing, but also just to let them know always that you want to respect their time. So for example, if they're too busy but they're not specific about something that they're doing right this second, you can tell them something like, okay, I really want to respect your time on this call, so thank you for letting me know that. If they ask for a length, the length of the interview really does depend on a few factors: contacts, facilities, and travel. I can't honestly give you a good length of the interview, but if you want to just get started on some questions, we can get rolling and see how much we can get done. And then if you need to stop or take a break, just let me know that. If they are too busy and they're specific, scheduling a callback, and then just reminding them okay, great, I do want to schedule a callback with you. I want to make sure that you're aware of the resources available to you while you're in quarantine/isolation. I want to give you accurate public health guidance. So what's a better time for you?
They do happen, and there's some that you can't bring them back. When I first call someone, I try to listen to their voice and I try to meet them where they are. If they sound like they're really sick, I talk kind of slow, calming if I can. I try to make myself a friend. A lot of my refusals come not necessarily people that just are angry about doing it. I had those for a while, but now it's more like people just don't feel good. They don't think they have the energy to make it through a whole call. And so I'll start, I'm so sorry that you feel so rotten. If we could just get through a few questions, if you need to rest, I can let you go and we can schedule a call back. And I've found I make it through a complete interview that way. If they're really angry, I try to figure out why they're angry. Diffuse it as you go. This is an invasion of my privacy. Step back and look at why they're uncomfortable and try to help them. What part do you need to keep private? I've had ones where I'll tell you where I work, but I will not tell you a location. If it's like a Target or McDonald's. And so I just go with it and I make detailed notes. Try to work with them, get as much as you can.
Because we cannot force people to participate, obviously. A lot of situations that I've been that I have to end the interview because they absolutely refuse to participate. Sometimes people don't believe in COVID or they think our call is a scam. Try to be calm and friendly, explain and give them information, how everything works, why we call in, what's the reason, what we're trying to get, what we're trying to provide. Instead of asking them questions for I need this and this from you, you are trying to help them and say, hey, if you need any resources, we can provide you with that. If you need any help, if you need any information, we're here for you, rather than try to take the information from them and be like, oh, I'm just collecting this and that's what I need to do. Answer all my questions now. Each case is different, but I remember one time the guy was kind of skeptical. He didn't have time, and I kind of tried to share a little bit of my experience, and I had COVID myself last year, and so I can kind of relate and share what happened to me, and also sometimes I can connect through different life experiences. And then he started sharing with me, and then I kind of conducted the whole interview, even though he didn't want to participate at all. I feel like just a very important skill is to be able to connect with people, be empathetic.
Build any kind of rapport with them, trying to understand where they're coming from, because I feel like if you understand where they're coming from and why they're refusing, it's easier to move forward. I know a couple of times I just let them know that it is a completely voluntary survey. However, the information that they do give us helps us stop the spread. And oftentimes when they stop, because they could be refusing it for many, many things, but if you just explain why, kind of correlate where they're coming from and why they're refusing, they're more likely to open up and be like, okay, yeah, I don't mind telling you this information, but I don't want to tell you this information. And the longer you have them on the phone, the more of that rapport you can build with them. And they might in the beginning say, no, I'm going to refuse to give you my any close contact information. But you're going through the whole interview and you get to that page and you're asking them about the contact information, and then they're more than willing to give you all of their contact information. Whenever I do have a refusal, I always try to dig deeper, figure out why they're refusing. Of course, the other side of that is the less than polite refusals, and there's really not much you can do for those. I never take those personally, because their anger isn't towards us, it's towards whatever's going on in their life at that moment. Sometimes they'll think that we're a scam call. If they do that, I'll just say there's a number that you can call to get more information on what I'll ask. And then I'll just go through what questions I will ask. And then they're kind of surprised that we're not asking more detailed information about their personal life. Other times it's more of the probing. Okay, well, what are you concerned about with this interview? These are the questions that we'll ask, or categories we'll ask about, but just kind of digging deeper based on their personality from what you can tell when they're refusing, just being straightforward, or kind of just targeting a few things that they might be nervous about and just kind of easing their mind about the entire interview.
I do not take it personally. One example, I regard to the case, of course, no answer, no text message reply either. But after that, she just sent me a message. She said, hey, Jean, people who got infected to the COVID, something that people got infected to the COVID already having a hard time. Government, you guys do not understand it, and it's not fun to have your government chasing you or stay on your. It's kind of obviously she's gonna have an attitude when she says it's not fun to have your government stay on your. I replied to her, we are here to help. We are not the police here. I here to present for Washington State Department of Health, and I cover for every single case. And I said our mission is to protect the public health, and with your help, you're gonna able to have an understand how this virus affects to everyone's health, and to help stop the spread of this virus. She called me. We went through the whole interview with her and all the other in her family too. She changed totally her attitude when we were on the phone. She really appreciate what I did, my job, and she understand it.
There's different difficult calls. Sometimes people just rude, but I know that we have a right to end the call. I just try to take it easy in the sense that people don't want to continue that at some point and they've been rude and they seem frustrated. I understand they are sick, they don't know what's going on, they're annoyed, they just don't want to talk to anybody, they have a lot of questions, I don't know all the answers. I let them vent and say what they need to say, as long as it's not to the level that I cannot handle it anymore. But I usually let them talk and I apologize. I said that I understand that it's been difficult for everybody, and if they don't want to continue and they said do not call me please, we just remove them from the call list. The team very supportive. Like anytime we have a call like that, we have one chat that we can hang out there and we support each other through that chat. So anybody can share what's going on, and if they have difficult call, we just vent in there and we just support each other, share our experiences. So we have a great managers. They always there. They give us time if we need some after difficult call, if we want to just step away and take some time, take some break, breathe, calm down. Because it could be very hard. People can be very intense and very rude. Well, yes, that was definitely challenging decision-making situation because it was a Sarah alert call, which is daily monitoring when we call people and check in with them how they feel and if they need any help and how's everything going with their symptoms. And that person, I was calling him for the whole week, I believe, and he was doing better. He was actually improving, and his symptoms was, so everything was going right. The very next day when I called him, I remember all he said is, I cannot talk right now, I'm hurt. And I wasn't even sure if something's going on beside the COVID, but since he hung up and I was very, very concerned, I didn't know how to react. It was my first ever experience like that. So I reached out to Brian, my supervisor, and he actually very quickly reacted and he said, yeah, go ahead and call 911. A 911 call goes to my county when I'm located. But I was able to transfer to the county where that person was and provide them with the address. They came and I think he got admitted to the hospital. But yeah, that was a very unique experience.
I'm the queen of difficult calls. So one of the most difficult calls, of course, you have emotional calls. Those are always difficult. This particular one, he was very angry. It ended up there was a lot. This is where that trust came in too. There was a lot of things going on in his life behind the scenes that caused the interaction. He pulled the lawyer card on me, and he was working on getting me to testify in court as to where my information came from because he was traveling and was exposed. He felt that somebody was out to get him. So we had several interactions. It was elevated to a higher level just because of the lawyer card. But my interactions with him, eventually it came out what that difficult situation within his life was, and he ended up being very apologetic to me. Hopefully he figured out his stuff, but he was very thankful and appreciative that I actually listened to him.
I have to change sometimes the whole approach of the call. Some people, they're more trusting, and some people, they're more skeptical, and you can either try to help them and provide what they need if they need the resources versus sometimes you just need the most important information that you get and end the call just because you feel this person is not cooperating. So I feel like each call, before I start a call, I kind of go through the profile of the person. Actually, Brian, my supervisor, helped me a few times to identify the language because sometimes it's hard to tell what translator I need, what language that person speaks, because I've never heard of some of those languages. And it's definitely a little challenging, but you feel very rewarded when you're able to connect with people and help everybody regardless their culture, language, or background.
Washington is a diversely populated state. Preparing yourself mentally with the expectations that you are going to be speaking with people with many different cultural norms and translating questions in a respectful manner, being grateful that these individuals are letting us into their life. So making sure that we're not passing any judgment when others start to share the standards that they live by, regardless of how different they are from yours. And just having that cultural humility and sensitivity and be prepared to have the conversations and answers that can really help you gain their trust. From my own personal experience, obtaining job information, details from some of my Hispanic and Latino community cases, it was always a part that I approached with caution. When I would hear people's fear and apprehension, some people even voicing their fears for their migrational status in this country. Preparing myself was key into knowing how to convey a confident message and letting them know, yes, I hear you, I understand you, your feelings are valid, and letting them know I'm not here to ask about your immigrational status, assuring them that their identity and information is all kept private and used by public health agencies only, and just assuring that our mission is to protect them, their community, and with their help, be able to reduce the spread of COVID-19. When working as a translator in this job in particular is to get familiar with the script, and this can really help you identify maybe some harder to translate sections. For me, this was symptoms or medical terms or just terms that we might not get to use on day-to-day conversations. And once you have identified those, the best thing to do is practice with peers or family members, anyone who is available to practice. And if you do run out of practice buddies, a tip that I found myself using is recording yourself at any time. Play it back, hear how you sound, what it is that you're saying, how are you saying it, and that way you can work on improving it.
As a translator, to work with the Russian population, I feel like it's not only just the translating, and that's why I like to connect with the Russian community instead of use an interpreter, and that's what I noticed that we prefer to delegate those cases with different languages to the native speakers, because besides the language, it's also the culture difference, and people can relate better and you can connect better and get more information, and overall, the contact with that person will be more productive.